page, what?
Where it was zone 2. So now he feared that more senators will be eligible, which will broaden the competitive base. And now he wants to struck it. If other people are afraid, I'm not afraid. I am only afraid of my creator. Because I've seen whether you tell the lie, you tell the truth, the date of death, you can't adjust it either forward or backward. That is my life experience.
Mr. President, distinguished Senator Adams Oshiomole, please be guided. Be guided. Distinguished Senator Adams Oshiomole, I am now invoking powers conferred to the office of the Chief Whip to order you to resume your seat and be guided by the ruling of the presiding officer. I am saying so in my capacity as the Chief Whip of the Senate. Be guided. Be guided. Be guided. I don't want to. Be guided. I don't want to invoke the powers of the office of the Chief Whip. Be guided.
This Senate president to contest for Senate presidency, what is wrong with them? Why changing it now? Because you think that next time, because last time, this rule of what term, ranking, that's what you require. And it turned out to be the only one from the South, where it was zone 2. So now he feared that more senators will be eligible, which will broaden the competitive base. And now he wants to struck it. If other people are afraid, I'm not afraid. I am only afraid of my creator. Because I've seen whether you tell the lie, you tell the truth, the date of death, you can't adjust it either forward or backward. That is my life experience.
The recession, does it help you?
It's not about me. First, let me say the whole kernel of today's recession is that he's saying we shouldn't make rules that are in violation of the Nigeria Constitution. Because evil law, if it violates the Constitution, you legislate in vain. Or the act becomes invalid to the extent of the contradiction. Now, go and look at, I think it's section 52 of the Constitution as to how you can become a Senate President or Deputy Senate President. It simply says, upon proclamation, senators-elect shall meet, and the clerk of the National Assembly will conduct the election into the office of Senate President and Deputy Senate President. That is the Nigeria Constitution. So you cannot make rules, but you can involve a culture, say, okay, maybe we need an experienced person. But even at that level, I will say, if he has enough experience to be a minority leader without previous one-day legislative experience, if he has the experience to be elected as Senate President after just 4 years, and he will tell you he's presiding well, and we have also said he's presiding well, why does he think that 4 years is no longer enough? That you must do 8 consecutive years? The other one that is extremely provocative is to say that even people who have been in the Senate before, who are even senior to the Senate President in terms of ranking, they done 2 terms and they left. Either they were voted out, or they contested for executive position, or they were appointed as minister like himself. When they now come back, they are not considered as ranking. Here, if you want me to speculate, because I had the question you asked this other guy, is that he's looking at, for example, if the former Deputy Senate President was to win election in Delta, Senator Mwagege, because he is not in this session, in the 10th Assembly, he will not be eligible. What is special about being in the 10th Assembly? Then, even David Mark, if he was to be, even after all his previous, because he's not the 10th Assembly, he will not be eligible. What is special about the 10th Assembly? Then Okowa, a former senator before he became governor, if he decides to contest, and I hear he's contesting, if he wins and he chooses to vie for the presidency of the Senate, what the leadership of the Senate was trying to do was to use these dubious, I use the word dubious cautiously, intervention in the rules to disqualify them. Why are you afraid? Hope Uzodinma is the one the newspaper seems to focus on. But because you don't know the whole ramification of the law. Now, tell me why you will say, as journalists, for example, that if you were editor 4 years ago and you left to go and do, maybe, just as an example, to go and do PhD, so you left broadcasting, or even to do some other things, and then you come back, then you apply for a job, and they're looking at your CV, and you proudly say, I was editor of Channels Television or Arise TV, I was actually reporting from the National Assembly. They will say, oh, those past experience doesn't matter. Once you have left for you and you are coming back, who does that? Those should count in your favor, not against you.
Will you still come back with a motion?
Pardon?
Will you still come back with a motion?
First, I'm happy that on their own today, they have revised based on the provision of the Constitution. But only in part. There is still a substantial debts that are illegal and that is completely in adherence with the provisions of the Nigerian Constitution, which we are not at liberty to amend.
So
Do you feel shortchanged yourself?
No, it's not about me. Don't raise it to me.
I know.
I've told you I'm contesting for office. What I am contested for is the president is the seat to represent the people of Edo North. Any other thing is not my right. It's a privilege that can only be conferred by fellow colleagues.
Thank you, sir.
And lastly, I respect ranking. But the Constitution of Nigeria does not put weight. And no matter what you want to think of yourself, it is only to the extent that it's in conformity with the express provision of the Nigerian Constitution. So all of these things will not matter. Best example, when some people supported him, and I was one of those who supported him. Ironically, I was one of those who supported him, even as a first-timer, against Senator Yari. They interpreted that Yari's first term was in the House of Rep, and therefore he's not ranking. Okay? But ranking contested that election. If he got majority, he would have won, because whatever they were saying is inferior in the face of the extra provisions of the Nigerian Constitution. I just think that you, the media, that is how Africans become live presidents.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
You know, when you see that of Cameroon, you see Uganda, that is how they start. So we cannot. If people choose to keep quiet, me, I will talk.
Yes.
And the President of the Senate.
Just take a look at Order 38 of our rules. Unless the Senate otherwise directs, the business of each sitting day shall be transacted in the following order. 1. Formal entry of the President of the Senate. 2. Prayers. 3. Approval of votes and proceedings. 4. Oath, affirmation of allegiance, and the oath stroke affirmation of members of new senators elect. 5. Message from the President of the Republic of Nigeria. 6. Order announcements by the President of the Senate. 7. Petitions. And then 8. Matters of urgent public importance. This is where point of order comes in. Unless you get to 8, you cannot raise point of order. And I've said it, people have been in these chambers for 3 years now. We should begin to know the rules of the Senate. I don't want to be accused of executive arrogance. That's why I keep tolerating these things. Please, there's no new senator any longer. There's no new senator any longer. Let us try our best to abide by the rules here. I've said if you're a policeman, you will wear police uniform unless you are in investigation. If you're a soldier, you must wear the army uniform. If you're a senator, you must go by the rules. Am I right? So point of order, you are ruled out of order. Page what?
Mr. President, distinguished Senator Adams Oshiomole, please be guided. Be guided. Distinguished Senator Adams Oshiomole, I am now invoking powers conferred to the office of the Chief Whip to order you to resume your seat and be guided by the ruling of the presiding officer. I am saying so in my capacity as the Chief Whip of the Senate. Be guided. Be guided. Be guided. I don't want to. Be guided. I don't want to invoke the powers of the office of the Chief Whip. Be guided. But I have. Why?
Senator Abaribe. Senator Abaribe. No, you don't need to come to me. I just want to tell you, you see what I've been saying, that we must read the rules. We must read the rules. We must read the rules. Page 1964. Page 1965.
Say point of order.
Page 1966.
You can use point of
Senator
order.
Akpabio. Adeniyi.
Senators' right to obey this law means that you are the presiding officer, you respect the rules. If you break the rules, then there's charge. And you can't deny me under the rules of the Senate when I rise up with your permission to read point of order. I have a right to read it down. You deny me that right yesterday. And therefore, anything you give.
Mr. President, point of order.
Order what?
Mr. President, I am invoking.
Senator Mangono.